All right, yeah, incredibly disappointing night. Just didn't play good enough to win the game here on the road in a rivalry game against a good opponent. I mean, that's the simple matter. I mean, the obvious thing is you lose the turnover battle 5-0, and you give up a kickoff return for a touchdown. You have a penalty that takes a touchdown off the board. Number of negative plays. That's the name of the game right there. I mean, I think they had. I hadn't seen the final stats. I think they had like 250, maybe 260 yards of offense. Thought our defense played good enough to win the football game. Thought we stepped up and did a lot of great things there, but we just put our defense in some terrible positions, and so yeah, obviously we're really disappointed. It's a disappointed locker room. It's disappointed, certainly not defeated, not demoralized. Know that we've obviously got a lot in front of us, but this game means a lot. We know it means a lot to our fan base. It means a lot to college football, and certainly disappointed that we weren't able to play nearly good enough football to win tonight. Thought the team had great resolve at halftime. Still very much believe at halftime that we were going to win the football game. Came out and got a couple of stops, got the one touchdown in, and felt like all the way through the up until the kickoff return for a touchdown that we were right there, because we were starting to get some stops. We were starting to finally kind of move the ball a little bit offensively and get into a rhythm there. And then obviously the kickoff return for a touchdown was the backbreaker there at the end of the game. So still very much believe in this football team. 1,000%. The good that you see from this football team is good enough to beat anybody. But we obviously know we got to put it together and put it together quickly to get our best and to get it from all three sides and be able to rise together. And we got a great opportunity to do it. Listen, I reminded the team and we remind everybody, we're undefeated in this conference right now. We play in right now what I think is the best conference in college football, top to bottom. And every opportunity that we want is waiting for us, including a big one 7 days from now in Los Angeles that we'll be excited to get back and prepare for. So we'll obviously watch the tape. We got a lot of corrections and a lot of things that we got to fix and get better at. But can't wait to get back to the Coliseum to go to battle with this team, the guys in this locker room. They're going to get our best in terms of the staff. I know we're going to get their best, and we're looking forward to bouncing back and playing very well here next week.
Will tonight reveal to you maybe in way of existing concerns that were magnified?
Well, again, you lose the turnover battle so drastically. I mean, it's hard to. It honestly don't matter a whole lot else what you do when you lose the turnover battle 5-0. And again, to me, having a kickoff return for a touchdown is almost like losing it 6-0. I mean, it's you can negate a pretty stout defensive performance. You negate any of the positive plays on the other special teams or that you had, the few that we had offensively. And so we just kind of consistently played from behind all night. Obviously, I think the big thing offensively is the amount of negative plays, whether turnovers or getting behind the chains. That's obviously showed up for us here tonight, and we were kind of consistently playing from behind, and you can't do that against a good defense and a good football team. So our good plays are good enough. Our bad plays are really hurting us right now. And typically when you play really well, your good plays are still good enough, but your bad plays are, that don't kill you. And that's, we got to take a big step there offensively. We got to do a better job. We got to get turnovers. We got to take care of the football because you're not going to beat anybody good, losing the turnover battle like we did tonight.
Why do you think this team hasn't been able to put together a four-quarter game with a mess?
Yeah, it's a good question. We played pretty well right there before the bye week. We've had some stretches of good play, here in the last few weeks, but we haven't been able to put it together. And those are obviously the things that we got to look back and fix. I think this team has a very strong resolve. And again, when I turn on the tape and I watch some of the good things happening, man, you still get really, really excited. But we got to put it together, and we got to do it quickly. I mean, this is the true second half of the season. This is going to be the back half of conference play coming up for us right now, with a lot of opportunities right there that we can't. The thing we can't do right now is we got to let the disappointment of not playing very good tonight, we got to get past it, and we got to get on. We can't let tonight beat us twice, because we really do have a pretty cool opportunity in front of us. It's just like I told you guys last year when we got beat up at Utah there at the last second of that game. If we'll hang in there and keep swinging, sometimes when you haven't played your best a few weeks in a row, you can get that feeling of, Well, you're a long, long, long ways away, and the reality is we're not that far away. But we do have to push it over the top. We got to play cleaner. We got to coach better. We got to play better all three sides.
Caleb, do you feel like you kind of forced a couple of those throws tonight? Just what do you chalk up to that first half?
I made mistakes that I usually don't make. Been in college for 3 years now, and don't think I've ever had a season or game or anything like that. So, nights like that happen. There was a couple maybe you could call forced, and the scramble drill, I'd say I could have threw that one away. Live to fight another down, but games like this happen in careers that when you play for a while and want to play for a while. These happen like that. Like Coach said, you got to get through it. You got to keep fighting. You got to be a leader. It starts the head of the snake, and I'll be better. So.
Defensively, what were they doing that maybe made it hard to get into a rhythm? What was kind of the...
Everything we saw on tape was what they were doing. A couple throws that I always make, didn't make. The one the leg went over his head. Often do you see that? On scramble drill, you don't see that often. And then the other one, like I said, a couple mistakes that happen, don't usually happen. Everything, like I said, that they were doing, they showed on tape, and we didn't go execute as a team. And like I said, the leader of the team, leader of the offense, didn't do that good tonight. So I'll be better.
Coach, with the offensive line, you said this weekend has the potential to be better than last year's group. What's not clicking there right now?
Yeah, I think right now, like watching this offensively, like tonight, it was, as Caleb kind of said, there was just a little bit, like kind of everybody took their turns. We had a couple of bad calls by me. As Caleb said, he forced a couple that he doesn't typically force. We dropped a few balls, had a couple errors by the receivers. We missed a few things up front. We missed a couple of runs that we thought we blocked up very well that we didn't make the correct cut. We kind of just took our turns making mistakes, and that's what it looks like. And so a couple times in pass pro again that we got beat in one-on-one situations that we have to win. And so, listen, everybody takes ownership in it, and that's just part of it. There wasn't one position group offensively that was good enough tonight.
Their pass rushes struggled to get home all season. How much of their success in that regard was fault of the offense versus their success on defense?
They kind of go hand in hand. I think the biggest thing that we did was we put ourselves in so many situations where we were backed up. In long yardage situations, it becomes almost like third and long ball, and they're pinning their ears back. So I think, do we need to protect better? Yes, but there's a lot of things that go into that. The big thing is you can't continually put yourself in just bad situations against a good defense, and they're a good defense. Listen, they're a good defense. We knew that coming in. We put ourselves in too many bad positions, and that's what happens.
Lincoln, you've talked about the climb here. You spoke on this a little bit, but to be heading in at this point of the season, to have your kind of worst game of the year now before heading into this stretch of Pac-12 play, is that a little bit frustrating to kind of go from an upward climb to a little bit of a downward?
Yeah, it's like I told you guys, like it's not always going to be just like this. It's not always going to be just like that. The reality is we're one great game and one big win right now from having all the momentum in the world and all the opportunities in the world. And that's just, college football is a week-to-week thing, man. It's the matchups change, who's available changes. Everything can change. Like tonight, we're going to go back and watch this tape, and then there was a couple of things in the first half, that are, all of a sudden you make one or two of those and the whole thing changes. Like the margins are so thin, and I know it's difficult to explain and maybe sometimes difficult to understand on the outside, but when you're on the road against a good football team, those are the things you got to do, and when you don't do them, it can go south quickly. And so, but the reality is we are a team that is capable of those things. I know that we are, and a lot of those errors tonight are it's a good football team we played, and give them credit, they played better than us tonight. But there's a lot of errors that we made that were totally on us, and a lot of opportunities that were there that I know we can make. And I think if we'll make a couple more of those and get the momentum back that we're capable of as a program and as a team. Listen, one big win against a really good football team here next week. and this whole thing feels different, and that's just the nature of the game.
Let's do one more.
How do you clean up all those small mistakes?
Work. There's no magic pill for this, right? You go to work. You address the areas that are not showing up on Saturdays. You look at any personnel changes that you might make. What are you doing schematically? What are you teaching fundamentally? Because again, these little things, one of them changes, two of them changes, all of a sudden the whole thing can flip. The whole thing can flip. It is such a game of momentum. And so, yeah, we know what we got to do. Now we just got to put the work in and go do it. And the most important thing for our locker room right now is going to be ignoring all the outside noise, and we've got to believe in one another and what we're capable of, and we got to stick together. I told the guys, I've been, and this has nothing to do with me. I've been part of teams now for a little while, and as a head coach, I've been a part of teams. We've had several of them. We've had a loss throughout the year because it's pretty damn tough to go undefeated in college football, right? In case anybody had noticed, it doesn't happen very often. Throughout my career as a head coach, we've had one time where we took a loss somewhere in the year that we didn't end up in the conference championship game. One time, and we did it. And in that one game, we were one play away from being in the conference championship there too. So and this group is more than capable. Now we got to go do it. We got to go make the corrections. We got to go fix the things that we got to fix. We got to coach and play better. But is it in our power? Is it something we're capable of? I believe it to my core, and we're going to go fight our ass off to get it done. All right,
Thank you,
thanks
John.
everybody.
Right on.